Welcome to a special episode of Ask the Amoses. We realize that a couple of you have questions that you might want to send to our DM instead of our email. So if you want to send it to our DM, we're on Instagram at Get a Love Like Mine Podcast. I think you can send private messages on Facebook as well. We're also Get a Love Like Mine Podcast on Facebook. So this week in our story, we asked if you guys had any questions, and one of the questions was, how do you keep your relationship fresh? So we're going to answer that for you.
Ask the Amoses, how do you keep your relationship fresh? For starters, you need to not be your old self. Especially men, we become cavemen, creatures of habit. Stop being so predictable. You've heard the term think outside the box. That's one of the best ways to keep your relationship fresh. You're going to have to do some things, look for opportunities to spend more time where the opportunities are there, but we don't always just get up and indulge or take that opportunity. Have lunch dates, things that you wouldn't have normally done again. I think one of the things that I did is that for Father's Day, I bought my wife a present. Totally unexpected, and it became the talk of Father's Day. So while she was buying things for me, I went and bought her something, and the gift that I bought her was talked about for at the family gathering for the rest of the day. So it worked out. You guys can steal that little idea if you want to. That's the reason I gave it.
I told everybody, this is my Father's Day gift. He bought me a Father's Day gift. I was so shocked and surprised.
The other thing is, from the woman's perspective, let your man find a way to be who he hasn't been without beating him up. Give him some praise or some positive feedback. Give him hope. I've heard women say, oh, well, he bought you something, or that's just to make up for, something he did wrong. Well, you're going to shoot down his outside the box idea before it gets rolling good if you give him some negative feedback, and then he's going to be like, well, I tried to do better, and it didn't go well.
You didn't appreciate it.
Right, so back in the box he goes. So please give him some positive feedback when he at least makes an effort to do better.
Positive reinforcement, that's just a good thing to do, even with your kids, but especially with your significant other. If they're trying, if you can see the effort, just a little backstory, I always give our testimony. And, we were both married previously, and both of our biggest complaint from our first marriage is being unappreciated, is being taken for granted. So make sure that when your significant other does something positive, that you acknowledge it and thank them for it. And I think just the acknowledgement makes them want to do more. It makes them, want to put forth more effort because they like that you're happy about it instead of you complaining or talking down on it. One thing about me, even if my husband gives me a gift that I don't like, I still say, oh, babe, this is great. I don't tell him I don't like it. I think that's very rude for somebody to give you a gift and you just shoot it down like, what am I gonna do with this? I hate these. I mean, that's just rude, and it's going to stop him from doing things like that. It's going to stop him. You think by you telling him that it's going to make him change the gifts that he buys. No, it's going to make him not buy you gifts at all because he's going to feel like you don't appreciate what he does. But back to the topic, keeping a relationship fresh, like my husband said, being spontaneous is the best advice I could give as far as keeping the relationship fresh. Try to, some people try to plan date night, but sometimes planned date night gets monotonous. If you get what I'm saying, it's like you just going through the motions. So sometimes the spontaneity of it is what keeps things light. Like, I wasn't expecting to have a lunch date with my husband today, but I got some free time and called him and said, hey, can you want to meet me for lunch? And then we just sneak off to lunch. Those are the type of things that keep your relationship fresh. Always pray about it. Always pray to, ask God. You guys should do things that you don't normally do. Like, if he likes bowling or something, but you guys never go bowling together, just one day plan a bowling date, or just a trip to the bowling alley, just something fun and spontaneous that you don't normally do. And I think that's just the best way to keep things fresh in your relationship. You have anything else?
That's it.
That's it. Thank you for Ask the Amoses. Thank you for your questions. If you want your question read on the show, send us an email to getalovelikeminepodcast@gmail.com. But we're going to try to do this throughout the week and do some other Ask the Amoses. So if you have any other questions and you want a quick response, go ahead and send us a DM with your question.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.